Yeah, this doesn't change anything for us at the Cathedral of the Rockies, except we no longer have to feel like we have an asterisk when we talk about our denomination.
That denomination is the United Methodist Church, a Protestant religion, second only to Southern Baptist when it comes to size, somewhere around 7 million in the United States. And that was before the church split over the stance taken in 2019 during their last general conference. They voted down allowing LGBTQ plus clergy or even same-sex marriage. So over the next 4 years, between 2019 and 2023, about 7,600 congregations, nearly 1 of 4, split off to become the Global Methodists. Those that remained, well, they're in the middle of their first general conference since that separation. Yesterday, 93% voted to go the other direction and remove a ban on, quote, self-avowed practicing homosexuals, end quote, first instituted in 1984. All means all has been the calling card of Boise's United Methodist Church, the Cathedral of the Rockies, well, since that building was built in 1960. But they've had to approach that mantra kind of delicately over the years. According to Pastor Duane Anders, the leader of the Cathedral of the Rockies, the largest Methodist congregation in the West, by the way, that wasn't all yesterday's vote did.
It also took away the language that said, we find homosexuality incompatible with the teachings of Christ. That's now gone.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
The affirmative has it, and the motion is adopted. Please hold our excitement.
The surprising thing of the General Conference vote was there was no debate, maybe because you might say, we've been debating it for 40 years. And so it passed overwhelmingly yesterday without debate.
And the reason it's an important day is because we've now taken the steps to try and do what we should have done decades ago, which is make sure that what we said we stood for, we now practice.
What does that mean for Cathedral of the Rockies?
The great news for us as Cathedral of the Rockies is I no longer have to say we're United Methodist, where all means all, and then say, you know, but if you move to other parts of the country or other parts of even our community, you may find a different stance because our official book of discipline says you're not welcome. And so now finally, I would say the Methodists have aligned their heart and head to say, all people matter to God, regardless of sexuality. You can be clergy, you can be married, you can be in our church, you can be a leader.
How do you think something like this is going to go over, considering the political climate that we're in right now?
Sure. I think change is often hard for all of us. And so this can feel like, for some people, aren't you changing 2,000 years of Christian history? I would actually say we're actually living into 2,000 years of Jesus' teaching, where Jesus welcomed all. God created earth and heaven. God created day and night. Did not God create everything in between?
A change doesn't mandate LGBTQ plus clergy. It doesn't mean you have to have them in your church, nor will it likely apply to churches outside the U.S. But it will take effect tomorrow at the conclusion of the conference. The Cathedral of the Rockies has been pretty progressive over the years, way before this official acceptance of the all means all mantra. In fact, tonight they're having a presentation and discussion by the author of the book, Raising Kids Beyond the Binary, celebrating God's transgender and gender diverse children, as told by a Christian mom who shares her experience raising a transgender child. An event starts tonight at 7, is open to any members of the LGBTQ plus community, as well as any allies that want to attend.